Hey guys, it's Keith from the Color of Coffee Collective and Coffee with Keith. Super excited today to just sit down with you and share my heart.
He wants to know, how do we treat each other? How do we help each other? I'm going to dedicate my life to using my name and popularity, helping charities, helping people, uniting people. So when I die, if there's a heaven, I want to see it.
Man, I've been in coffee for 25 years. This year makes 25 years. And I'm super excited about it. I've been excited about coffee for a long time. That's the reason why I stayed. First 8 years, I was just trying to figure out where I was. And then, over the last 16, 17 years, it's become extremely clear to me kind of where my goal was and my passion was in coffee. And this is the reason why I wanted to talk to you guys today. For oftentimes, when I started out in coffee, it was a joy just to make a paycheck. What I mean by that is I was just here every 2 weeks. I knew I was getting a paycheck. But then the more I fell in love with coffee, the more I saw stories of coffee, of people in coffee. And I realized that at that point, there was something significant happening in coffee that I wasn't a part of. And that was, no matter how hard I worked, no matter how much I gave, no matter what knowledge I gained, there was no room for progression within the industry. And then the more conferences I went to and the more meetings I went to, it became even more depressing to find out that I was one of, if not the only, African American within the room. And so it really kind of took me aback, and it made me really start reevaluating whether or not I wanted to be within this industry. Because while at the same time I cheered myself on by saying that I was one of or the only in the room, it also was very clear to me that that was exactly the framework from which this system of oppression has allowed for us to feel some sense of reward or hope by being in those spaces. Because to feel excited about being in a room full of white men who have less knowledge than you in most cases was just really earth-shattering revelation to me that I had become a part of the system that, as to be frank, as W.E.B. Du Bois once said, there's nothing wrong with a system that was never meant to elevate or to help people of color. And so in doing that and realizing that, I began to really take a hard look at some of the issues that were systemic within the industry, but also that were very personal to me. I had a lot of friends within the industry. Most of them didn't look like me, but all shared and understood kind of where I was, and they agreed that it was wrong, and they agreed that, there were positions that I should have been accepted in, or more importantly, there should be more people looking like me within the industry. Yet none of those folks ever made room at the table for people who looked like me. And that was really sad. As a matter of fact, it was really disheartening. And even today, 25 years in, I have conversations with people still at conferences who look me in the face, hear the story of the Color of Coffee Collective, hear my story, and they give you the most emotional looks on their face that they could, of expressions of, I hear you, I see you, I understand. There should be something done. But yet, there's still no movement. In every one of those conversations, there are a few people who say, I want to help, I want to assist. But in those conversations, there should be more. If you agree with me, if you align with me, if you say that you want to see change, then real change happens when allies begin to move from the side of lip service to actions. And action sometimes means that you've got to lose some people who don't necessarily agree with that stance. And certainly, do I believe that There are people who will probably no longer support you as a result of you choosing to do what is right. And what I mean by right, right is supporting people, giving them equal treatment, giving representation where it matters. Don't just give away a position to give away a position, but literally give people fair and equal treatment. If someone has earned the right to be in a position of leadership, don't look at them because of their color or because of their gender identification or because they don't go or worship somewhere that you worship. Give them the same treatment that they deserved, and that is in that leadership role where they have earned the right to be there. Oftentimes, I talk to so many people, especially now when I go into places, especially conferences, and I see young people who are representing companies that have been in the industry. Literally, they are 2-3 years in the industry, but yet they're making major decisions for huge brands that the only reason why they're there is because of the skin color. And they have moved some things around to ensure that women now have some spots, but these women are still just offshoots of the white men that they've brought in before. And so today, I literally want to implore you as I share my heart with you. As the founder of Color of Coffee Collective and my nonprofit Coffee with Keith, where we go into communities that specialty coffee just won't even breach the doors of. I want to encourage you as an ally, as a friend, of somebody who's been in the business for a long time. I want to ask you, what are you willing to change about what you're doing currently to ensure that the industry becomes a whole lot better when we all can sit at a table and eat from a table that we all know we help construct? Is it fair for every single person within the industry to continue to ignore the glaring signs that there's disparities throughout the industry? Certainly, if somebody works hard and they've earned their right to be there, allow them that space to be there. Lastly, I want to say this to shop owners and baristas and anyone alike. It is important that we continue to have conversations around equity and pay for baristas. It is important that we continue to have conversations in equity in training and education. But I also think it's important, too, that we are also making sure that our shop owners and potential shop owners get the proper education that they need. Oftentimes, we pretend as though this industry is continuing to fulfill and close the gaps where technology advancements are taking place, equipment advancements are taking place, and yet there are still these gatekeepers of the industry that refuse to share knowledge and information to help people get further along in their careers. Quit being a gatekeeper. Stop doing the disservice of acting as though you holding the cards to all the information is the way to keep the industry sustained. It's not. Sustainability means sharing the information, allowing people to do with it what they may, but it also allowing them to do it in a way that best fits what they're trying to do with their consumer. At Color of Coffee Collective and Coffee with Keith, some of the things that we do in terms of work within the communities as well as within the industry is to ensure that sustainability and education are at the forefront of what we do, as well as creating community. We try as hard as we can when we go into communities of color to always go in with the understanding that we are not subject matter experts, but we're partnering alongside individuals who are really trying to continue to maintain their relevancy within the industry. And in doing that, what we've discovered is oftentimes there's this huge lack, this huge gap of educational tools, resources, as well as information to resources to help them maintain relevant or even just stay sustainable. And so my ask or my request of any individual who wants to know how you can support, how you can be involved, how you can help, the ways in which we do the work. And if you don't want to partner with us, that's cool. But just know that if you go into communities of color, please go support them in ways of providing for them the necessary tools in which the same way we find out ways to get information to people who don't look like people of color is in the same way we ask that you would do here at the Color of Coffee Collective or anywhere else. That is, be open, be truthful, and just be honest. You don't have to, in one breath, say, I hear you, see you, and support you, while at the same time there's no action behind it. There are real coffee professionals really out here working to ensure that their families are taken care of or that they're just able to meet their own basic needs. And while some of us within the industry have the necessary resources and the tools to ensure that people can maintain their relevancy within the industry, yet we look at others and hope that they figure it out or they fall by the wayside because they don't look like or talk a certain way that you think they should. Specialty coffee is not specialty because it's only for white people. Specialty coffee is not specialty coffee only because it was designed for Americans. Specialty coffee is a coffee consumed by all, touched by all, created by all, and should be shared by all. Here at Color of Coffee Collective, we believe that you should love coffee in all its colors. And we truly hope that you will see the vision and the pathways leading to change, and you will support us in every way you can. Thank you, and God bless.